sorry about that. Yeah. So the three problems which we have already identified to you. First is the problem of lack of accountability status quo. Second is the problem of lack of optionality for people who want to seek legal redress. And third, the problem of non-protection for individuals who are vulnerable as a result of the oppressive structures which they are confined to by virtue of the religion which they subscribe to. So these are three very important things which we speak to you on side government, and we get no engagement on this by this side, because what they ultimately come to say from opening government is, hey, you get no sovereignty. We already showed you on different levels on this side of the house. So why you actually get that, at least some traction for individuals who would like to seek legal redress. And secondly, even if you do not get that, we feel that for the fact that a thing is principally justified, while accountability is something which is very important and you must hold a moral obligation up to standard, we feel this is something which is ultimately justified to do. We do not feel that it is justified for people to use the trust that have been put on them or the power that have been conferred on them by individuals to make decisions that are harmful to them. We feel that in a relationship of agency or in a relationship of trust, where there is a presumption that you must act in the best interest of the individual, it is something which is valid for you to do something which is complete opposite of it. So if you do something like that, have I already showed you how this ultimately creates a platform for you to ensure that legal redress is sought, and because we do not get meaningful engagement from these guys, it doesn't make sense. Now let us engage the better opposition case. These guys come to talk to us about, hey, they should leave the church because of they should leave the church because there is an opt-in or opt-out mechanism. I already showed you why this is usually not the case. People are afraid to leave churches because they feel like they are going to go to hell as a result due to the knowledge asymmetry which exists as a result of it. But we also feel that there is an important thing which you can do for individuals who are too afraid to leave church, is by advancing a principle that tells them that it is possible for them to seek legal redress. Because when you make a thing lawful, it automatically begins to change the narrative around that thing. It automatically starts to make the thing feel like such a thing is a good thing to do. So when people begin to know that a thing is lawful for them to do, that it is lawful for churches to be held to account, it ultimately makes people have an incentive to want to leave such structures that oppress them. And we feel that ultimately you achieve a lot more opt-out on our side of the house, if that is the problem which you guys feel like is the issue in today's debate. Second, they talk about, hey, the churches have an interrogatory nature, so interpretation varies. But we feel that interpretation varies because individuals confer their entire hope on churches to give them the interpretation. So that is what, religious organizations are given the trust that whatsoever interpretation that they are giving to a religious text is an interpretation which is valid and is good for members of that religious organization. That is why we have a multiplicity in the first place. But we feel like when the interpretation is harmful to individuals who they should interpret it on behalf of, and it's something which is bad and something which they must be held to account for. So if you have to interrogate a notion and you have to ultimately give people an interrogation that benefits them, an interpretation that benefits them, and you do the exact opposite, then we don't feel like it's right. Because to tell them that God has created them because he wants to make them happy or he wants to give them a better life, but you do the exact opposite of it, then you do something which is contrary to the principles of your religious organization, and you must be held to it. Second, for the very fact that you have the individuals who have put their trust and their power in your hands, that is something which is wrong and it was not. That thing is that they talk about how, hey, there is a joint liability because there is contributory negligence. Very stupid, very stupid argument. Now let us engage why this is a bad idea. Because what you say is that, hey, because you have a hand in by virtue of giving your consent, then it is illegitimate for us to punish the person. If you say that is a right thing for you to do, to kill people because, hey, kill me, it doesn't still make it illegitimate for states to hold the culpable for killing that individual. So we feel that even if an individual has a role to play, like we've already shown you that usually it is as a result of coercion and fear or as a result of imperfect choices, then it is still legitimate for us to hold them to it because we say they are culpable. What informs legal redress is culpability. To the extent that you can show that it's culpability on the side of the religious organization, it is valid to punish them even if the individual has a hand to play in it. We would not feel that it's ultimately valid for you to exonerate them simply because, hey, the individual was negligent, then it's completely valid for you to ignore the argument to bring to you on this side of the house. Then I say, hey, there is a vague nature of religion. So we feel like this is what makes it very necessary that every single thing which is done in religion must be done in good faith. But the very fact that it is vague, that it's subject to interpretation, means that whatsoever interpretation is given must be such that is consistent to the benefit of individuals within the religious organization. Because religious organizations like to talk about sacrifice. So your sacrifice must also be reflected in the actions of religious organizations. Religious organizations are not created for the interest of the leaders. They are created for the interest of the people who are adherent to that faith. When they do not benefit them and benefit disproportionately the leaders or harm them ultimately, we feel that's something which is bad and they should be held to it. Fourth thing they talk about, hey, it has a self-regulatory nature. But we actually know that this is untrue. That is why the problem of accountability falls more to our side, urban accountability. Because they do not actually have a self-regulatory nature. Everyone just validates whatsoever the leader says. That means that they are hardly checked in the current system. That is why it is very, very important for us to put in such strict measures that brings them to account. And we feel like even if there are already regulatory measures, proliferation of regulatory measures is not a bad idea. If we have one regulatory measure and we make it to ultimately to get the best decisions for individuals, we feel like it's something which is valid and falls on our side of the house. And they say, hey, they can face their fear and liberate themselves. Very, very funny notion. Everyone on this side has been showing you how this is usually not the case. But even if this is not the case, we feel that if you tell people that a thing is lawful to do, that they have the option to sue, then they begin to interrogate the notion. And this is something which Howard tells us that is very important. You begin to demystify the narrative behind religious leaders, and you stop deifying them and making them look like individuals that cannot be brought to book. So ultimately, the only way that they can liberate themselves is when government begins to change the narrative and the perception of individuals to their religious organizations, and begin to make them know that they can seek redress whenever decisions that are made are bad for them. I would not say that all the decisions will not be proved. Like, you don't take people to court without proving it. So ultimately, proof that could fall on either side. If the individual has sufficient proof to show that the religious organization has done them harm, then ultimately it's completely legitimate for us to win this debate. So which context does Hawa engage in this debate? Hawa engages two contexts. That if it's on the side of the individual, she analyzes that very thoroughly. And second, if the decisions which are made are harmful to the organization, then it's still legitimate for certain individuals to take part of the commonwealth that exists within the religious organization and use it against that organization. It is completely valid and legitimate for individuals within that organization to call them to account to those type of things. Then we talk about how the choices of individuals are made as a result of coercive force and as a result of like an eternal punishment that scares people from seeking redress. So ultimately, she showed you why legal culpability is something which is very important in this place, because this is the only way you can get protection from them. Ultimately, which team in today's debate answers the question of solvency? We do not on that side of the house that even if certain individuals might not want it, it is illegitimate to deny those who want the option to sue, and then you begin to change the narrative behind suing when you bring it and make it legal. Very happy to have been government.
So,